Shout out to my man Josh Handler for tagging me on this. Basically, he wants to know, when investing in rental properties, is it better to do the BRRRR method, where you go in, you purchase, you refinance, you pull a bunch of money out and you go on to the next one, or is it better to stack your cash, buy it, own it 100% outright, and have more cash flow on a monthly basis, okay?
All you hear these days, why people got into real estate is because they wanted financial freedom. They wanted to build that portfolio of rental properties to take the money that they made from real estate to be able to get that passive income every month. But what's the correct way to do so? You always hear the BRRRR model. You're gonna buy it, you're gonna rent it, you're gonna refinance it, you're gonna renovate it, blah, 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 pull out your money. And then you got the people that will take all their money and buy the house in cash and not leverage themselves and bring in their passive income that way. What's the proper way to do so? What's the benefits and the negatives of both strategies? So I'm calling out Charles, my man, the Handsome Homebuyer. Let us know what is the positive and negatives of the BRRRR model versus buying the house and having 20%, 30%, or buying the house fully in cash and having all that money tied up and bringing in liquid money every week or every month versus the BRRRR model. I want to know what's the reasons.
Okay, so let's talk about the pros and the cons. First of all, rental properties in general are the best thing in the world. I flip houses to buy rentals. It's how you create long-term generational wealth. Now, I leverage every single one of my properties, and I do that for a number of different reasons. With that said, I have a lot of friends that don't like leverage at all and just buy for cash, and that's it. So the positives of having leverage is A, it increases your return on investment, because you have less money in that particular deal, depending on what the interest rate is, and this is a very low interest rate environment. It will cause your cash-on-cash return, or your monthly ROI, annual ROI, to go up significantly if you apply leverage. The second thing is you obviously have more available capital when you refinance to go and purchase another property. Granted, you have to make sure that every property you're purchasing, even with the leverage, is meeting your investment criteria and cash flowing and giving you the desired return every single month, every single year. Another thing that most people don't know about is leveraging a property also provides a certain level of protection in regards to lawsuits. So if you're being sued for something on a particular property and that property is leveraged 70, 80, 85%, something like that, and an attorney looks at that and that's the asset that they're going after, if the bank has a first lien position, they might not go after, they might be less likely to pursue that lawsuit if they know that there's not a pot of gold at the end of that rainbow, because the bank has a significant lien on it. Now, you're obviously making less money every month because you do have to pay the mortgage. However, the interest on the mortgage is tax deductible and there's a write-up, which is also a good thing. The only thing that's very important, which is a benefit of, let's say, like buying a stock outright versus buying it on margin, or buying your real estate outright, is once you bought it, that's it. The market can fluctuate, things can happen, but your expenses are a lot less. So if you have a house, if I own, let's say, this house for cash right here, and I'm renting it out, and I have a tenant that decides to not pay, like situations that we're seeing right now, all I'm paying is the taxes. I don't have to worry about a mortgage. I'm paying the taxes and I'm paying the insurance. If I over leverage and values drop, or I have a non-paying tenant and I don't have the money in my pocket to cover, that's really the risk that you ultimately run there. So there's pros and cons to both. Not one is right or one is wrong. My opinion, apply a respectable, conservative amount of leverage. I typically leverage properties about 60%, so I have significant cash flow and enough of an equity cushion just in case something happens. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it. Let's do it again.